investment in education is often not appreciated until it is needed. I've heard many African countries talk about, well, we would like to beneficiate our own resources, we would like to process and add value. Outside of South Africa, there are very few countries that have the capacity to do so. Let's think about the 17 rare earths. It took China about 30 years to gain the know-how, the intellectual property. However, they gained it, but they did. So the processing of rare earths, separating them, refining them, is a huge undertaking. It takes for some of these rare earths 100 solvent extracting stages to be able to refine and separate, because they share the same ionic radii. So they kind of are quite difficult to tell from one another. If you're an African country and you would like to beneficiate your critical element right now, it's already too late if you didn't invest in your engineers and whatever else. So these stages are not just physical, but they're often case chemical as well. If you're making nice speeches about we would like to ship less of our lithium, for example, the DRC put restrictions on the export of cobalt. Other countries have implemented similar restrictions, such as Zimbabwe. China smiles at this. The know-how still resides in large doses in China. So you may see an offshoring of Chinese know-how to these countries. We've already seen a huge numbers of personnel from different Chinese companies being strewn about throughout Africa. I can guarantee you that the Chinese are quite guarded about their own intellectual property. So no one is going to be doing African countries any favors. In other words, an African country that says it is beneficiating some of these critical minerals within its borders may not necessarily be talking about its people beneficiating the minerals. Of course, I don't want to underestimate the extent to which certain jobs and downstream effects on the economy will be forthcoming for countries. But I'm trying to make a point that there is no substitute for early education. So the countries that are going to benefit are like South Africa, countries that have already skill and know-how about these resources they possess.